Hello and welcome to Blockchain Gaming World with me, John Jordan. So in this video, I'm going to have a go at playing the Crypt. So disclosure, I am an advisor to the Crypt, but I've not played it yet. It's just gone. It went live actually yesterday, 27th of January. So I know there was a lot of activity yesterday, but I was super busy, unfortunately. So playing it today. So what is the Crypt? So the Crypt is very much the first chapter. So it says here, first chapter, loot dungeon, and the Crypt is basically a blockchain game project. It's basically a fully sort of on-chain experience. And in the first chapter, you have to have the Loot for Adventurers NFT. So this is an NFT sort of basic, primitive, I suppose you'd call it, that was dropped, created in sort of late 2020. And it was just basically just this guy, very cool, created this it's basically like a text list of sort of gear you might take into a dungeon. And he basically created these NFTs and basically just said, you know, I'm not making a game on them, but if people want to make games around this, please do so. And it, you know, there's lots of copycats and different versions, and people are making projects. It's been quite slow going, but the developer behind this is called Playmint, based in the UK, and they're an experienced team. They've been making games for like 20 years. This is their first blockchain game, and this is the first version of it. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my, hopefully at least, going to take my loot NFTs, and I'm going to play them against their dungeon, and my NFTs will sort of attack the dungeon. It's a very basic game in terms of sort of like a sort of almost like sort of rolling stats against each other. When the dungeon is cleared, people who have cleared the dungeon will get the rewards, which are the NFTs, the Crypt NFTs. So those are the reward NFTs, all running on Ethereum. So I'll be paying probably quite a lot of gas fees. So this isn't for everyone. This is a very sort of almost like a sort of private demo, really, because you have to have the loot NFT in order to play. Loot NFTs are currently about 2 ETH, so what's that, about $5,000, $6,000. So you know, this isn't designed for the mass market, but over time, this is like the experiment, and then over time it will get sort of opened up. So let's see how it goes. So we can see here, looks like the whole thing's done. So there we go. So I'm too late. So that's pretty cool. So what's been going on here? So we can see here that these are the dungeons. So there are dungeons of perfection, dungeons of Titan, dungeons of enlightenment, dungeon of sort of one of these. And we can see here that basically all these have been played out already. So very quickly we can see here this is a success. So there's been, let's have a look. It's 6 to do the maths now. 16, 20, no 16. 16 dungeons, and they have all been played by people playing loot bags. So you can see here that these are, this is sort of in the idea of how this dungeon was created. This is what the enemies were inside. There was orcs, spike pits, lizard kings, demon spawn, and basically, if this was now operating, but it's not, I would use my loot NFT, and some of the elements in my loot NFT might you know, do damage to orcs or do damage to lizard kings, or if I had a really good NFT, it might do multiple damage to multiple versions. And basically, the idea of this is, you know, no one person can kill a dungeon. So it's basically an idea of having you sort of either just do it sort of asynchronously, so I could just play against the dungeon, or people come in. You know, there are people who hold, you know, hundreds of these loot tokens, some of the big whales, and they can come in, you know, as individuals, I suppose, and do it, or come in as groups and do it. So we can see here, in this case, that this is what happens. There were 12 raiders. Probably a bit difficult to see here. So loot 2004. He had a warhammer, and that took a -2 health off the orc, and the ring mail took a -2 off whatever the you know, was in that line there. Let's have a look. What was number 2? So that took 2 health off the spike pits, and we can kind of go all the way down. So these are all the NFTs. So there were 12 NFTs, and we can see here they took off different damage. So this one here took 3 HP off. This one took 2 HP off. Was there any higher than that? So this one only took 1 HP off. This one took 4 off. So, but basically, as a combined set, these loot NFTs attacked this dungeon, reduced the health to 0, and all the raiders received the gold skull of perfection. So that's pretty cool. And you know, obviously similarly on the other ones. So all the gold skulls have been claimed, all the gold crowns have been claimed, all the gold medals have been claimed, and all the gold keys have been claimed. So that's pretty cool. They're going to have to be creating some more dungeons soon. I wonder if they I wonder if the designers thought this was going to happen. So let's have a look. I don't have any relics. Oh, you can see here actually. This will probably show me my loot. This is the problem when I'm too busy. So these are my loots. I could so this is literally what a loot NFT looks like. It's basically like a list, a gear list. So these are ones I bought previously, and now I haven't got a chance to use them because I've been too slow. Cool. So one more thing. I don't know actually if the NFTs have been minted out yet. I'll just have a quick look and see if anything's on OpenSea or not. Cool, so here we go, it's an on-chain game and they've minted them all already. So we can see here, these are the relics of the Crypt. I'm assuming this is correct. So this is, let's be a bit careful on OpenSea. This is not a verified collection yet. Hasn't got the little blue tick. And we know there are sort of naughty people who are, who go around creating these things. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend you buy things. I'll have to sort of double check with the team, but we can see here if we wanted to buy some of these things now, assuming these are the real things, that these are seem to have a pretty decent value, 0.47 ETH. So that's a pretty decent chunk. I mean, at the moment these don't have any functionality, so but it is interesting. Obviously, people have been paying all the people have done have already had the loot, NFT. They paid the gas fees to beat the dungeons. And then they've been given these things in return. Now, whether these prices stay the same, I don't know. Normally, what happens in this sort of situation, prices tend to be a bit high, and then over time, if there's no activity, let's have a look at activity. If no one's buying it, obviously the prices go down. There's been a bit of trade, so some have been looks like have been bought, but obviously not a lot at the moment. This is not necessarily a very high-profile project yet, but we can see here these are, yeah, there they are. It's all worked, so well done to the guys at Playmint, and I guess we'll have to wait now. I'll have to be a bit more organised when these dungeons go live. Clearly, the appetite for using loot NFTs is high, which is good for the Crypt. As I say, that was just chapter 1, so there's going to be many more chapters. There is sort of months of roadmap out there, and hopefully over time as well, we will see more people coming along. We see at the moment there are 495 items, so that was what chapter 1 has done, and those are spread between 49 wallets, so a pretty small number of individuals. So I would imagine maybe some of these individuals have their loot in more than one wallet, so we could say that there's a maximum of like 49 people, probably less than 49 people involved in this. So this is a very high-end sort of game at this stage, but as I say, there are plans for hundreds and eventually thousands of people to be able to play this game, and over time it will become obviously a different sort of game, a more visual game. I won't give away too much about what the plans are there, but there we go. So thanks for watching. This is Blockchain Gaming World, where sometimes we're a little bit late to the action, but hopefully not all the time. Please subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and see you again.